safer world is possible, and together we can and will make it happen. Thank you.
When you show up in community, you find that group that makes you feel like home, but oftentimes you also find yourself again.
You're supposed to hate Harry and Meghan again today because the house that the Queen, the late Queen, gifted them, and upon which Harry spent £2.3 million of his own money, has now been confiscated by King Charles. Imagine if this was... So imagine if you were writing this story from a point of view of not having had your brain boiled by the fact that Prince Harry fell in love with a woman of colour, right? So just pretend that the world hadn't been redefined, or your attitude to the royal family hadn't been redefined by right-wing media apoplectic about the fact that Prince Harry turned the entire pyramid of privilege in this country on his head by falling in love with an actual woman of colour, right? So, and King Charles was currently much more under attack than his sons, okay? Because he used to be very much under attack for the appalling way in which his late wife and Prince Harry's mum was treated, and indeed the way in which the now Queen was insinuated into public life, having her reputation completely rehabilitated thanks to collusion with newspapers, which was, well, I think seeing her sit down for a meal with Jeremy Clarkson shortly before Jeremy Clarkson wrote that article about Meghan Markle, which reports today suggest might see him deemed surplus to requirements over at ITV, tells you everything you need to know about the nature of those relationships and those quid pro quos. So just imagine that Charles was persona non grata with the right-wing media, and that he had betrayed... This is how you'd write it. Charles betrays his late mother's wishes by depriving Harry of a home in England's green and pleasant land. I'd add that bit as well, a little bit of William Blake there. You can almost hear Hubert Parry tuning up in the background. Cruel Charles, callous Charles. I can't quite get the alliteration. Just sounds a tricky. Cheesy doesn't work. So cruel Charles betrays. Cruel Charles betrays late Queen's wishes by stealing Harry's home. Second line. Harry and Meghan denied place in England's green and pleasant land by jealous parent. You see how it would work? Because the Queen gave them a house and he's taken it away. So betraying the late Queen's wishes. That is how... Churlish Charles? Thank you. Churlish Charles? Yeah, Churlish Charles. It's tricky that, because you're weighing up the alliteration with the stronger adjective. So cruel Charles is much stronger. Churlish Charles. Churlish Charles works pretty well, actually. Churlish Charles steals Harry's house. There it is. Churlish Charles steals Harry's house. Second line, late Queen cruelly betrayed by brutal eviction. That's the story, by the way, if you don't know what I'm talking about. Churlish Charles has stolen Harry's house. The late Queen wanted him to have it. He spent 2.3 million quid tarting it up, and money he repaid actually to the public purse after stepping down from royal duties. And lo and behold, Charles has demonstrated according to newspapers, he's demonstrated, let me tell you what the Daily Mail have to say about it, because we could always do with a laugh. Charles evicting Harry and Meghan from Frogmore is the act of a king putting his country first. I love showing you how twisted the media is, because if you're not an anorak like me, you probably don't notice. So that headline could easily be exactly the same story. Churlish Charles steals Harry's house. Late Queen betrayed by brutal eviction. That's exactly the same story, right? But the invitation to hate in recent years has involved Harry and Meghan, because much of the British media continues to favour a man who paid millions of pounds to a sex trafficking victim who accused him of multiple sex crimes than it does to a man who had the audacity to fall in love with a woman of colour. We've got it. Callous King. Callous King steals Harry's house. That's come from Grant. He's doing a shift as a sub-editor today. Home is better than house, thank you. We're doing this together. Callous King steals Harry's home. Brutal betrayal of late Queen's wishes. That's it, right? Callous king steals Harry's home, brutal betrayal of late Kit Queen's wishes. And then you'd have people like Amanda Platel writing articles about how terrible he's trampling upon the grave of his beloved mother. It's so awful. It's just pathetic. It is absolutely, it's the infantilization of a nation. I mean, it's been underway for hundreds of years, but occasionally the absurdity, the hypocrisy, the base corruption of it is so irresistible that it can't help sticking its head above the parapet. Callous king steals Harry's home. There it is. So, sorry, that was just a little diversion into who the invitation to hate is being issued to. Who are we supposed to hate today, Keith? Harry and Meghan again, James. Okay, thank you.
Hello and a warm welcome to Sussexful. I'm your host, Emma, and as always, thank you for joining this amazing community that truly supports Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Before we begin, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Sussexful, your home for truth, compassion, and positivity surrounding Harry and Meghan. In today's video, we look at James O'Brien's brilliant take on right-wing media hypocrisy, as he imagines alternate headlines that expose the double standards the British press uses against Harry and Meghan. James, your brilliance, honesty, and compassion shine through once again. It's heartbreaking to know that Prince Harry dedicated 36 years of his life to the royal family, with no salary, no pension, no trust fund, and no fair treatment. As he revealed in his book, Charles acted as his financial advisor, leader, and trustee, yet left him unskilled, uneducated, and unemployed. If that's how one treats their own child, it speaks volumes. The British media may spin their lies, but we see the truth. Harry and Meghan stand tall, grounded in love and integrity, while the monarchy's cruelty exposes itself. Join the conversation below. Share your thoughts. Do you agree with James? Like this video to support the Sussexes. Subscribe to Sussexful for more truth, heart, and positivity every week. In this parallel universe, the tabloid headlines would no doubt paint a vastly different picture of Prince Harry and the royal family. Imagine the scathing criticisms and unfounded allegations that would spew forth from the right-wing media outlets. Harry, the ungrateful wretch who spurned his family's generosity, or Meghan, the scheming social climber who manipulated her way into the palace. The palace's loyalists would surely decry Harry as a traitor, condemning his every move as an affront to the crown. And Prince Charles? He'd undoubtedly be hailed as a dutiful, long-suffering patriarch, selflessly guiding his family through these tumultuous times. Never mind the whispers of favoritism, exploitation, or outright cruelty. In this twisted reality, the royals could do no wrong, and any criticism would be swiftly dismissed as the ravings of hysterical liberals. It's a chilling thought, but one that underscores the power of perspective and the dangers of an unchecked partisan media landscape. The brilliance and compassion of James O'Brien. His extraordinary insight, honesty, and empathy truly shine through in his thoughtful analysis of the complex dynamics between Prince Harry and the British royal family. It's, well, honestly quite saddening to realize that Harry devoted 36 years of his life to the institution, only to receive no salary, no retirement benefits, or trust fund for all those years of tireless service. Instead of being financially secure and cared for, Harry was, it seems, left uneducated, unskilled, and unemployed by his own family, a shocking betrayal indeed. If the head of the royal family is capable of such, well, cruel exploitation of his own flesh and blood, one can only imagine what other abuses he might be capable of. No child should ever have to beg a parent for love, affection, and attention. That a grown man like Harry seems to have been denied such basic human decency is, frankly, truly heartbreaking. James O'Brien's empathetic perspective cuts through the fog of media spin and PR exercises, offering us a refreshingly honest and compassionate take on this painful family saga. the exploitation of Prince Harry. Prince Charles, in his role as Harry's financial advisor, leader, and trustee, has, effectively rendered the young prince uneducated, unskilled, and unemployed. This disturbing revelation suggests a troubling pattern of exploitation and control that Charles has exerted over his own son. If Harry were an American citizen, it's highly likely that such actions on Charles's part would have been deemed criminal, as he has seemingly deprived his son of the necessary tools and opportunities to thrive independently. The implications are deeply unsettling, for if Charles is willing to mistreat and manipulate his own flesh and blood in this manner, one can only imagine the depths of his potential for abuse and exploitation beyond the confines of his family. Harry, after devoting 36 years of his life to the royal family, deserves far better than to be left without a salary, retirement benefits, or any tangible remuneration for his labors. A child should never have to beg for their parents' love, affection, and attention. Yet it appears that is precisely the situation Harry has found himself in. The lack of parental love and attention. It is truly heartbreaking to think that a child, regardless of their station in life, should ever have to beg for the love and affection of their parents. The British media's relentless vilification of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle speaks volumes about the lack of compassion and basic human decency in our society. Rather than focusing on the real issues at hand, the tabloids seem intent on perpetuating a narrative that casts the young couple as villains, when in reality, it is the royal family and its enablers who have failed them. If Prince Charles, the very man entrusted to guide and protect Harry, has instead chosen to exploit and mistreat his own flesh and blood, then what hope is there for true familial love and understanding? The monarchy's priorities are clearly misaligned, and the public would be wise to view the palace's propaganda with a healthy dose of skepticism. The monarchy and Prince Charles. The monarchy deserves Prince Charles as their king for his unparalleled dedication and unwavering commitment to the crown. With his impeccable lineage and intimate understanding of the royal traditions, Charles is the natural successor to the throne. While some may argue for the more charismatic Prince Andrew, the monarchy would be best served by the steady hand and disciplined approach that Charles brings to the table. His years of experience navigating the intricate political landscape and his keen diplomatic skills make him the ideal candidate to lead the monarchy into the future. The British people can rest assured that under Charles's stewardship, the grandeur and prestige of the crown will be preserved for generations to come. The PR exercise of Charles. Charles is clearly engaging in a calculated PR exercise to ensure that the public and the press are firmly on his side, rather than on Harry's. If your own father is willing to be so openly spiteful and vindictive towards you, then it is likely that you are indeed better off without him. The monarchy's interests seem to be the priority here, rather than any genuine concern for Harry's well-being or the nuances of their complex family dynamic. This heavy-handed attempt to sway public opinion in his favor speaks volumes about Charles's priorities and the lengths he is willing to go to protect the institution, even at the expense of his own son.